I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, doing no cap. Only God wants, so you better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad.
I just wanna stay bad, stay mad. Shit on my shoulder cause they treat me like an outcast. I ain't gonna take that, stay back. I'll be swinging hard till the hits come in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back, pray that someone's gonna help me. Ain't nobody like that. I ain't gonna wait, that's all fact. Give me one shot and I'll never get the throne back. I'm sick of being cautious, I'ma go cause some pain, can't stop this. I'ma steal everybody's lane, call it shoplift. Sick of hearing everyone complain when they thoughtless. Taste the pain, it's like candy canes. It makes me go change into a better frame, into a better name. Society's insane, we all live for fame, yeah. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants, so you better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad. I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants, so you better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad. I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, I'll live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants, so you better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad. I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life. I don't really know what comes next. I'm just doing my best, even though I'm so stressed out. Everything just feels like a test that I fail, so depressed when I can't seem to get out. But something deep inside won't let me quit. I swear that I'm inspired by all this shit. Tell me that I can and I won't. That's what guides me the most. Fuck your lies, I'll do what I want. The gas in the back, never left, she's so bad. By thirst, I'm inspired by worth. I desire your worst, so you can just hide while I work. I ain't tired, you first. I'll write a second, third verse about the lies you go disperse. You never did shit, I know it hurts. Something deep inside won't let me quit. I swear that I'm inspired by all this shit. Tell me that I can and I won't. That's what guides me the most. Fuck your lies, I'll do what I want. The gas in the back, never left, she's so bad.
Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. Hard sports all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Hard sports all plays.
Good morning. Welcome to the All Sports, All Plays College Breakdown. I am Ray Cruz. Hey, I got my friend, the man who runs the podcast, the Who's to Blame podcast. The man, the myth, the legend himself, the Florida Gators, which his team will be in action today. We will be breaking down his game, and the co-host of the All Sports, All Plays College Breakdown, my friend. And your friend, the only man, the myth, the legend, Dre Montez.
What's going on, my man? How you doing today?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
Oh, man, getting ready for this holiday season to get in and get kicking. I'm ready to eat some food and watch some NBA basketball.
There you go. Yeah, I got my Christmas present early. Got my PlayStation 5 now.
Oh, bragging. I love it. I got my
PlayStation 5. I got my NBA 2K23.
Look at you.
I'm good.
I'm
good, man.
Must be nice to have a nice woman.
Hey, I got it for myself.
But still, you get my point.
I got it. But anyway, so, man, the tragedy that happened on Monday, the death of Mississippi State coach Mike Lynch died at 61 on the 12th of December. We weren't on the air. Coming to you. You know, we're going to keep prayers for his family and the Mississippi State football team. But what is your take on the death of Mike Lynch? Would it have an effect on college football now?
Well, you know, I became a fan of Mike Leach the way everybody else did through his antics. But as I thought about it more and more, the day the news broke, and actually on Tuesday, I thought about it when I worked in Charlotte, North Carolina. When I worked with WFNZ, I heard of Mike Leach for the very first time then. And then for the very fact that this man came from rugby, never played football, and as innovative as he was offensively with the ball, that speaks volumes. I'm not talking about what his record was. It's what he brought to the game of football. And his coaching tree is still going on now as well. But what he did for the game of college football, man, was on a whole different level. Yeah, his books and his philosophy was a little different. It made a point. It got through to his players. It got through to the media. It made people more intrigued about him as well. Even the program. Even still continue the conversation with some of his former players on how they're living better lives due to what Coach Mike Leach told them. Either it was a book, a passage, a montage, it was something, but he left a lasting mark on his coaches and his players alike.
Yeah, the first time I heard about Mike Lynch, it was the year that he left the fake Oklahoma playbook for Texas people to find it.
Yeah, that was a wild story. He's had a lot of stories, man. A lot of wild stories out there. I'm quite sure he's gonna get some stories out there to share it, like in baseball, the likes of a Billy Martin, the likes of a Don Zimmer, even my man Bob Uecker, that just has those stories. You don't know whether to believe them or challenge them, but they sound believable. And knowing the guy, which you met through television and the media, that could be a Mike Leach thing.
Yeah, and you know, I was reading through some of the stuff to make my notes here, and I came with some of his sayings. It's like the one I ate the last mango in Paris. I took the last plane out of Saigon. I took the first fast boat out of China. And Jimmy, there's still so much more to be done. That's some of the quotes that I found. That was intriguing that he always says.
I like no matter what. He wasn't rude to anyone in the media. He answered the question if you really paid attention to what he was saying. No matter what, he answered the question. It may not have been the answer you were looking for, But when they got back in the truck to the studio and they broke down what he said, they're like, okay, wait a minute. He did answer the question. He just brought up an analogy for the answer to present to the media that seemed weird and confusing. But if you think about it, he was really answering the question on some of those quotes and outtakes in those games.
Yeah, another interesting thing I came across was he was sitting in his office. Somebody called him. It was a wrong phone number. He sat there and talked to him for an hour. I guess the guy was on a cell phone or something, and the connection got lost. And he called him back and talked another 45 minutes after that.
That's awesome.
And then the guy in his office said, "You know who that was?" He said, "No, somebody called the wrong phone number. I was just getting information from him." He said he made a friend out of that too. So
that's a great story.
But there's a lot of stuff. Alabama gave their tribute out to the basketball team. They put a picture of him and Nick Saban together. Him and Nick Saban were good friends and stuff like that. So another interesting thing I want to get your tidbit here on is that now Mike Leach died at age 61. The College Football Hall of Fame, you had to be retired or you'd be active duty. You had to be an active coach at 75 years old or retired and then turn 70. Mike Leach has died at 61. Will they make a clause for him if they're going to put him into the coaching Hall of Fame? Will they make a clause for him to get in because he didn't make it up to the 70-year mark at 70 years old?
I'm quite sure they already have something in place for that, where the coach is as reputable as he was. And again, what he brought for his innovation to the offensive side of college football. I can't see why they would hesitate to wait at all. And it brings another interesting point of the health of these. The health of coaches, period. Nobody's really paying attention to it. The lack of sleep, the lack of an appetite, the lack of exercising, the stress levels, the amount of the job. The coach is always telling everybody else what to do. Not many people are checking on these coaches. Right. You need to check on these coaches as well. I mean, Nick Saban went through it. My man Urban Meyer went through it. Bo Schembechler went through it. A lot of the top coaches and the guys who are household names or becoming household names are going through it now due to the emphasis on winning. And with the transfer portal the way it is and the way NIL is and the way television deals are made right now, everybody's trying to be the it factor, the now factor. But when it comes to the health and safety of the coaches, we need to keep an eye on that as well.
Yeah, we're looking at some of this stuff like all the coaching changes made now, and there has been some rumors going around. I cannot confirm or deny, but there have been some rumors going around that coaches are now poaching MSU players not even a week after his death and trying to get them to hit the transfer portal to come to them. What are your thought on that? If that is true, them starting to poach these kids and the coach has not even been gone a week yet.
Look, when a hip-hop star was killed, Nipsey Hussle, the very next day somebody was hitting on his wife, Lauren London. So when it comes to these college kids and everybody trying to get the emphasis on winning and be the one to get that next X factor of an athlete, this is not a shock to me. It is not a shock to me at all. What they do in collegiate sports, this is not a shock to me at all. Not a shocker.
And then let's move on. Well, like I said, we'll keep the morning of Mike Leach in a prayer of his family and stuff like that as the weeks go on and goes month and stuff like that. But to keep the MSU family, their football team, they got a bowl game coming up here and stuff like that. So that's going to be a really trying time when they touch the field for the first time. But Mike Leach not on the sideline. But let's talk about Wisconsin's hire. They went out and poached the offensive coordinator, which is Luke Fickell's best friend, from the offensive coordinator Phil Longo from the University of North Carolina. What is your thoughts on Phil Longo's offensive philosophy going into the Big Ten when it is more of a running game? You go into a running team and his offense is more predicated on the run/pass option. And he don't have a quarterback that can run that at Wisconsin. He has to go out and recruit one. So what is your thought on the offensive philosophy change at Wisconsin coming up for next year?
Well, coming in right now this early, I think it's a good hire for Wisconsin moving forward. At least they didn't hesitate. They got on it before the actual season was over. There still can be a conversation, some observance, and get to know some of the people and the boosters and the family from that standpoint. But trying to initiate his own offensive philosophy, that takes time. And with recruiting the way it is and transfer portal the way it is, something could fall into his lap that's very beneficial. Because when you have an offensive mind like that, that means you can evaluate talent very quickly to see how can it really benefit you offensively. You know where to put people. You can tell if your running back needs to slide to slot receiver, or your receiver need to go to a tailback, or your receiver need to be a quarterback. You can pretty much spot things like that, spot the speed on the offensive line. I don't think it's going to be that hard of a task. It's going to be challenging due to the history of Wisconsin-style football, how they've been known to recruit, how it's in the blood when it comes to Wisconsin football. Now, if he can talk to people and go in living rooms and bring something with him with proof that my offensive scheme works, then there's a bit of a conversation right there. But as we all know, all it takes is one person to believe in you, and then they can eventually go and talk to other people. Hey, I believe in what Coach is talking about. Come with me and let's see what's going on. Then if they don't like it, they can transfer out.
And then Longo also took his offensive line coach, Jack Bagnell, with him Jr., so that's a key to keep that continuity with the offensive line and his blocking schemes. Now you got to teach a zone blocking scheme to predicate a man-to-man blocking scheme / zone, because he runs a zone blocking scheme and he runs a man-to-man blocking scheme at some points during the when they do the run and pass options. So how does Wisconsin go from a zone blocking scheme to a man blocking scheme, and then have to alternate between the different plays that Bill Longo is going to bring to Wisconsin?
Speed and flexibility and great communication. That's what it's going to take. Not saying it cannot be done, but it's going to take some time. I think the easiest thing to do when you're hiring a new coach and they give him the opportunity to hire who he wants to hire, and we're offensive minded, of course I'm going to keep my same crew. I'm going to keep that core because we all looking for the same thing. So if we all go to the next school together and we can evaluate that talent the way you've been doing for years, that's more beneficial to us than anything. And that makes the job a little easier. And again, with the transfer portal, you can pretty much – everybody knows what type of coach, what type of offense, defense they're running all throughout the country. The players that are playing, they know this. So everybody's done their homework. So the players out there that see this, that know that this is beneficial for them, I can see them attacking the progress.
And then North Carolina State went out and got Robert and from Syracuse, the offensive coordinator, there to become their new offensive coordinator, which Tim Beck went to be the head coach at Coastal Carolina to the Chandeliers and Conway, since their coach went to Liberty. So now with the changeover now, is this a good hire for North Carolina State, going out and poaching Syracuse's offensive coordinator to become their new offensive coordinator?
Well, the way Syracuse program was going, I can see NC State doing that. I really can. I'm a little worried about that Liberty hire because there are things going on with Liberty behind the scenes. I don't know if it's going to affect any of the sports programs or not, but disturbing news affiliated with that school. But NC State looked like they're going in the right direction. I want to know where that program is going due to the pedigree of quarterbacks that have been through those doors and what they've done in the NFL. I expect a little bit more satisfaction out of NC State on the offensive side.
Now, Larry's transferring out of North Carolina State, one of the top-rated quarterbacks from last year, got injured this year. He's transferring out. We don't know exactly where he's going. How does Morris and Finley and if I think Chalmers is gone, so there's going to be Morris, Finley, and then they're probably going to go hit the transfer portal to get some other quarterbacks I heard. But how does the two quarterbacks that are right now on the roster? Morris is injured right now. Finley came in and played against North Carolina and beat North Carolina in the final game of the season. How does those two quarterbacks fit into the new system? Because most likely he's going to run that same system at Syracuse, which they had to have more of a pocket passer than a running quarterback.
Well, after what I heard this morning about BYU quarterbacks, they're in their fifth quarterback this year. So that lets you know right there. They hitting out here and you got to load up on your quarterbacks. If you can't find what you need to run your proper offense, we've seen what happened when coaches try to force an offensive scheme or defensive scheme on players, and they just don't have that it to pull this off. And it looks bad on our side as fans watching this when you don't have the speed to pull off this play. You just don't have the speed and the flexibility to do this. You don't have the skill set. So I'm thinking if the coach knows his quarterbacks don't have that, you have to adjust your offensive scheme to fit the skill set of your players. You can't force it on them. If I can't do this down and out and do a 7-step drop back and hit this down and out, coach, I just can't do it. You can't put me in a position to fail. I don't think no coach wants to do that anymore, to set kids up to fail unless the parents done something wrong or the kid done did something wrong on social media to make the coach look bad. I can see shit like that happening then. But just overall play and trying to get points on the board, I can't see that going down that way. Forcing my offensive scheme on something I know they can't do it. No.
Now, if you look at this too, North Carolina had to go out and since Longo gone and Bargnell gone, the offensive line, they went out and got two guys. Chip Lindsey, the University of Central Florida's former Central Florida's offensive coordinator and a 3-year coach at Troy. They went and brought him in as the offensive coordinator, and then they went out and got Randy Clements as the replace Jack Bignell as the offensive line. So how are these two guys going to coordinate, because they don't have no familiarity with each other, so we don't know what kind of scheme we're going to be running, or we're going to keep the Falongo scheme and him just tailor to his beliefs. But they have made contact with Drake May. Drake May likes to hire. They've been talking with Drake May off and on before this hire was even thing. So they got his input in. So how does now North Carolina's offense going to be affected? And since you got Drake May, who could be he was supposed to be a pocket passer, but turned into a running quarterback too. So how's the development now with Drake May and the new offensive coordinator going to come in and start next year? They're going to start fresh next year. So how does the offense going to look for North Carolina next year?
Well, on paper, we don't know yet, but film work can tell a lot. I mean, the tendencies on both sides, what the offensive coordinator likes to call, what's his money plays, what's his go-to on the quarterbacking side. You can see his strongest points. Is he good on this side of the hash mark, running outside of the pocket, staying in the pocket, being elusive? You got to go to what can be a very positive thing when these two get together. And we know collegially they can't work out the way they used to, but I don't think they've really limited film study and taken home the book. And with the tablet now available to the college kids, I just think the only time they have a little problem with them working out of is actual contact. So the learning curve is going to be a little bit more of a language. If they can have a good connection on that, I think it could work in the favor of both of them.
Yeah, if you look at certain things too, what Damian said here is now since Deion Sanders, we have seen the effect of Deion Sanders at Colorado. Now in the transfer portal, we have some players moving out of Alabama going to Colorado. We know players at Jackson State going to go to Colorado. Okay, he said he's bringing 10 of his players there. But now the head coach at Jackson State, the guy that he put in for it, he got the coaching job. Now the groundwork is set. He now can continue building on the blueprint that Deion left for him. How does Jackson State correlate with the 10 guys that are going? Are they going to hit the transfer portal too to get them replace those 10 guys, or how's that going to affect Jackson State's recruiting?
I think the transfer portal is advantageous to the coaches as well as the players. It helps out both parties. It helps out if people pay attention. It helps out both parties. The blueprint is set for Jackson State. I done showed you how to do this. When you buy a franchise, you learning how to run that franchise. He already knows the game of football. Deion broke down the blueprint for him. It's already laid out for success. The kids are going to come. Bama lost 18 players last year. Last week, they were up to 14. It's a part of the cycle of football. It's just a little bit more easier now with the verbiage and the eligibility to play. So it's advantageous to both the players and the coaches, to me, with the usage of the transfer portal. It's not saying that Colorado's coming in this thing going to go undefeated. It sounds good on paper that Deion is getting all these transfers, but other schools have been getting transfers as well, too. Florida State, Miami, Georgia getting a lot of transfer portals because they're going to these programs that's more beneficial for their athletic ability to contribute to a team in the play right now. It's just like when Oklahoma State had all those running backs in the 80s. If they would have known the waiting process, they wouldn't have went that way. That's the only reason Bo Jackson didn't go to Auburn. Didn't go to Georgia, because he would have waited. He would have had to play. He wanted to play now. And coach said, I have you playing as a freshman. Let's go. You don't get that. You don't get that kind of talk nowadays due to all the rules and regulations that you have to follow and go through, which is not a problem at all. There's been so many true freshmen get out there in the field and prove they have that skill set to play D1, come right out of high school, right on the field.
Right. And I agree with you on that, too. We're going to get ready to take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to start pondering our college picks here. We're going to look at the picks from last week. The Army-Navy game didn't go our way, but it did take it to the first overtime in the history of that 143-year history of the Army-Navy game. It was first played overtime, which Army came out and surprised everybody with the pass. So did the Navy. So we're going to see that. And then we had the opening of the bowl games at 2 in there. So we got 3 picks. So we see how we did when we come back. And then we're going to break down Rice versus Southern Mississippi. We got Washington State, Fresno State. We got Florida, Oregon State. We got Cincinnati, Louisville. We got those bowl games coming up and much, much more on the All Sports, All Place College Breakdown. I am Ray. This is Dre. And we'll be back after these messages.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. We talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
What did you say?
I said Kobe Bean Bryant has been overrated ever since he passed away.
Now, I'd say they could lose about 4, but I don't see them losing 5. You know what I mean?
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
This is the Fox D Streaming Network. Register to come on our channel at foxdnetwork.com.
welcome back to the All Sports All Plays College Breakdown. I am Ray. That is Dre. And we got some Damian brought some interesting news here. What are your thoughts on the former Nebraska football coach getting arrested last night for strangulation? That's
what happened Wednesday? Happened Wednesday night.
Wednesday night?
Yeah. Happened Wednesday
Give us a little bit of detail on that real quick.
It was just an argument at their house about 4 a.m. Police was called, bruises on her neck. But then from her side, allegedly, the next day, of course, he's innocent of everything here. So they're trying to sort out everything to see what's going on. This does not look good at all. Considering what has happened at Nebraska when it comes to domestic violence, this does not look good at all.
And USA Today's news says go. Yeah, so that's all that right there.
He definitely fired. Definitely.
Yeah. So we're going to bring up the college football breakdown segment here, which we do every Saturday. If you've been watching the show for the past Blue Year Yonders and stuff like that. So what did we do last week? We both went 1 and 2.
I take that.
I picked. You're 473, 270. I'm 499, 244. So getting close to that 500 mark. You know, you can reach the 500 mark if you get all the bowl games right here from here on out. You know, you can break 500, bro. You get close.
Didn't we pick two of the games last week?
Yeah, that's one of the 3 that we got.
All right.
See, what happened was we didn't win the Army Navy game. We won. I won the UAB game, and you won the. No, I won. Yeah, you won the USA to the US, whatever, the University of San Antonio game. So that's how we went 1 and 2. You know.
Okay. They were both good college football games.
Oh yeah. So there's our record there. So let's get ready to break down this game here today. The first game on this telecast will be the Cincinnati Louisville. This game is at 11 o'clock today. 11 o'clock. So we will be off the air by 11 to get everybody so they can watch the football game. We don't want to interrupt the football game that's going to only be played on ESPN. And then the next game after that will be at 2:30. It'll be the Florida versus number 14 Oregon State at the SRS Distribution Las Vegas Bowl at the Black Hole, what they're going to call it now.
Did you put Jackson State on there?
I didn't put Jackson State on there.
They play NC Central at North Carolina Central, 11 o'clock on ABC.
Yeah, we'll talk about that too. So, all right, let's get ready about Louisville. Louisville and Cincinnati, they all got new head coaches. Point blank. We don't know if the old coach is going to coach the game. It'll be interesting because Cincinnati's got the former Louisville coach coming in next year as their head coach. So that's going to be a little bit. I don't know if they're going to let him coach this game. I don't know if they decided they're going to let him coach this game. They haven't really too much about it. I don't think Louisville should let him coach because he's playing against his new team. That'll be a very interesting way of putting the battles here. So what is your thing on this Louisville and Cincinnati game today?
I don't think no new coaches are coaching their new team in a bowl season. I think all new coaches start next year when the season starts. So if he doesn't coach, that means he's just on the sideline with his new team for next year up in the booth. But I don't think there's no coaching. I don't think that's even legal to do or pull off. I think both of these schools are trying to do something a little better they couldn't pull off properly with the TV schedule or the schedule of the teams they have in the prospective conference the way it's set up to be for the next 4 years. I was a big fan of Louisville. I really was. And I don't know what happened to the program. It kind of got sidetracked. I don't know what happened with the program. I've been a big fan of the Natty for a long time. I love that football program. And to me, it's more of an up than Louisville is. But we never know what next year is going to bring us. But I'm going with Cincinnati in this game. Yeah,
and this is a very interesting game because this game is going to be played at Fenway Park in Boston.
Lucky.
It's called the Wasabi Fenway Bowl. That's what they call it.
Wasabi.
I guess we were going all Japan now.
Wasabi.
Wasabi. But anyway, the matchup predictors got Louisville favored 55.4% to 44.6%. It's going to be a very good game. Malik Cunningham gives you an interesting figure because he can pass and run the ball at the same time.
Hey.
How do you figure it out? And then you got Bryant, who is a slash runner too, but he's more of a pocket passer type deal than he is a runner. How does this offense tailors to the Cincinnati defense that now got to predicate themselves with an extra running back there if they decide to run him?
Well, I tell you what, it all depends on how are the linebackers at agility. It's all on linebackers and communication with the men behind you. It's all on them and that eye movement. Everybody got to pay attention. No distractions. Got to have that head like Singletary vision. You got to be looking straight ahead, but use your peripherals and get ready ankles. It's about the linebackers when it comes to them quarterbacks that can run and throw. It's all about the linebackers on that. Are we moving the right way? Are we communicating the right way? My next up linebackers, in case I get long-winded, be ready up here. Be on the sideline. Here we go.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look at it, both defenses on this thing, both of them give up 142.1 yards rushing for Cincinnati, 140.6 for Louisville, but Louisville gives up a little bit more of a passing of 206 yards, 0.5 to 186.4 for Cincinnati. So if you're looking at that portion too, and the running, Cincinnati runs on their offense 136.8 yards per game to 193.8 for Louisville. Louisville is more of a balance of 211.7 passing to 256.0 passing for Cincinnati. So if you look at that situation there, both teams are coming in on the loss of the last game of the regular season. Cincinnati lost to Tulane 27-24, and Louisville lost to University of Kentucky 26-13. So, and today, they don't mention how many people are going to be in this crowd because they don't know how to configure a baseball stadium to a football stadium at Fenway Park. So it could be anywhere from 6,000 to 9,000 people.
Knowing the people of Fenway and knowing Boston, from Boston, I think they're going to sell this thing out. I wonder what the capacity is. Probably going to be probably 30,000 probably.
I don't know. It depends on how they configure the football field in there. I don't know if they take out any of the seats or how they. It's
going to be interesting to watch here. I love when they do the different sports at different venues. I love when they do that. Love it. They need to do more of it.
Yeah. Well, if you want to watch this game, you better have some cable or you better have some Hulu or something because this game is on ESPN at 11 o'clock today. So you got who you say you got Louisville?
Yeah. No, give me Cincinnati.
You want Cincy? I'm going to stay in the ACC. I'm going to take Louisville in this one.
Have you seen what's all on TV in sports today? Did you see that?
No, I haven't really paid. I was doing my things on the football side.
Well, listen to this real quick, and we'll get back to it. Today, Saturday, there are 89 men college basketball games, 48 women's, 3 NFL games, 6 bowl games, 1 FCS semifinal game, 1 Division II championship, 1 World Cup soccer game, 7 NBA games, 13 NHL games, and it's UFC Fight Night. That's all today.
You better have we might have to go out and get some more TVs.
That's why when we end the show, I'm going straight to the store. I gotta go on a beer run, get some vodka as well. I'm not budging today. I'm going to Ugly Sweater Christmas party tonight, but I'm watching all that as much as I can today. I'm locked and loaded today. I was like,
yeah, we got the Tar Heels playing the Ohio State Buckeyes today. Basketball.
It's gonna be a lot going on today.
Oh yeah. But yeah, so I take the ACC. You taking the American League. Cincinnati. I'm taking Louisville. The next game will be your team, man. Your team. And we got some information on your team. Here we gotta talk about. Your Florida Gators takes on the number 14 Oregon State Beavers at at the SAS Distribution Bowl game in Las Vegas for the home of the Raiders in that new black hole looking stadium.
At the Death Star, I was raised in the dark.
Now we have Anthony Richardson, who has now progressed himself as an NFL thing. He will not be the quarterback. You go into your depth chart. What is this, the third or fourth string quarterback is going to be starting for you today?
I believe it's our third string quarterback. It's our third string today, this quarterback. We lost a few people already to the transfer portal, but we got like 5 players that are coming in. We got 2 high-profile quarterbacks coming in. But today, I just want to – the players that I know that are coming back that are playing today, I just want to see a strong effort from our team because we had a lot of distractions with our football team again off the field.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing about this is the quarterback you got starting, they have no film on.
There's film on everybody. There's film on everybody. They just haven't told us. There's film on everybody. There's film on everybody.
Well, I mean, you got to go back to his high school days. I mean,
yeah, but there's film.
Yeah, but still, you can't just apply a high school to a college game.
Shit, most of these guys don't change. They tend to see only thing that changes their physique. That's it. That's the only thing that changes. They're pretty much the same person from high school when they get to college. Especially if you haven't played him yet.
Yeah.
All he doing is sitting there wearing the vest and just playing catch, talking about what they ate last night at Krispy Kreme. That's it. That's all.
I will go over your offensive numbers, but I don't know if these numbers are going to sustain with the new personnel you got going on.
I'm more intrigued on the offensive play calling than anything. I want to see the adjustments that we're going to make with the different style quarterback. We don't have a quarterback with the likes of Anthony Richardson to throw or run the ball. So I want to see how the offensive line is going to move, what the receiving patterns are going to look like, what the backfield, are we pocket passing, are we throwing on the run, are we running this game? I want to see more of that and a little bit more quick reaction time on the offensive side.
Yeah, and then if you look at Oregon State, they're coming in with a 3-game winning streak. They beat Cal, they beat Arizona State, and they came out and beat Oregon last week. Louisville coming in on a 2-game losing streak, lost to Vanderbilt, and then they lost to FSU, 45-38, 31-24.
I like Oregon State. I do like them because they have beavers on their ass. But they're a little better than us coming in this matchup. They have more to gain by beating us than we have by beating Oregon State, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to have more fans there than we will at this game. I think more people want to leave Oregon and go to Vegas than people want to leave Florida and go to Vegas. But I'm still going my Florida football Gators, though, man. I can't just abandon them like that. No.
Well, I mean, it's tricky. I mean, they can travel out there and say, okay, the game gets boring. They walk out and go right to the casino.
Nobody goes to. We're going to the all-day, all-you-can-eat buffet strip club sports bar. Everybody stands up and eat. There are no cheers. Stand up and eat.
Well, I mean, if you go to that, then the strippers will take the money, so they have to go to the casino and get more money.
No.
Better go gamble, get more money.
We going to FTX strip club. Everything is Bitcoin.
I don't know. Bitcoin ain't worth 2 cents now.
Boy. They done made several movies about this, going all the way back to the Cougarons with Lethal Weapon. Nobody paid attention. Nobody.
No. But I mean, if you look at this and you're talking about all this situation, the turnovers situation with the Gators and stuff coming in next year, do you see that next year's team has got to be a must-win for Napier, or are they going to lose interest in him if he don't turn this Gator team back around? I mean, they're 6-6 in his first year.
Any other conference, I say he has a little bit more of a security blanket. In any other school he was in, a little bit more of a security blanket. But in the SEC, at Florida, we don't have that window's not open that long for you. We will close that window when it's not making sense. And the offensive play calling this year did not make sense to us at all. Knowing what you have for as weapons and what you were telling him to call didn't make sense to me at all. So that's why I want to see a little bit more of this. Maybe he was nervous. Maybe the Wi-Fi was out. Maybe he had a strong Cajun accent. But if they can understand Ed Ogeron, you better come up with some hand signals or something like that. Inexcusable. Inexcusable.
I mean, what's gonna take for Florida to turn this stuff around? Will this, if they can win this bowl game, will this be in the right direction to turn this program around by taking this game right here and winning this ball game against a 14th ranked Oregon State team?
I mean, to use a motivational win to catapult our season to start next August and December, that's a little bit of a damn stretch for me. Now, if it was one of those teams that's been running their damn mouth, all in the videos, all on the stage, then I would get it. But no, I don't think this could really catapult my Florida football Gators being amped up for next year by winning December 17th and not playing again until August of 23. No, sir, I'm not buying into that. But what I do like about this, if we do make it make sense with our offensive play call, little quicker scheme, little smooth operation, I would like to use that game film for my incoming recruits. Hey, look what we did in that bowl game. We could break it down and have some fun, make it a good promo to amp up the team. Now, I like that. But as far as using this game for next year's motivation, no.
And Damian said Florida needs Jesus.
Is he left or right-handed? Because I need him to play quarterback. Send him my way.
Well, if it's Jesus, Jesus can play either right, left, and throw
ambidextrous.
his feet too.
There you go.
Yeah.
He's a two-way player, and he's ambidextrous and can play all positions. Give me one of them.
You know, you can hit the circle button from the spin,
Hit
and
them all.
then you switch it in the hand while you spinning to the other side. Yeah.
I wonder how far we off without using the controller. It just hooks up to our head, and we just sit there and play, and it goes off of our brain waves and thoughts on what we want to do with the ball.
Well, right now, I don't know. We're getting to a point where, you know, football ain't gonna be on the foot. You ain't gonna have a football team on a football field. It's gonna be all virtual, and you're gonna be sitting there, playing with the little goggles on and trying to make the tackles and stuff like that. And you won't have to have the coaches because the fans can turn into the coaches because they got this VRE. They can send a play in and say, "Hey, y'all execute this." So you know the coaches will be obsolete, and then it'll be controlled by the fans. You know.
And I love back in the day, you could really create your own playbook on Madden when you had to have the bigger memory card from the PS2. Man, that was fun when you got to design your entire playbook, defense and offense. That was fun.
Yeah, they got this one. I don't know if they're going to still do it since EA Sports is now coming back with that college football game in 2024. It's supposed to come out in 2024 now.
Yeah, they ran into a little glitch.
Yeah, there's one thing that we're deciding to do a college football game, but they weren't going to put the players in it because of the likeness and stuff. That you could create your own players, create your own playbook, and create your own college. I don't know. I haven't heard anything else from that.
That's a $200 game, bro. All that shit you got to download. Oh my God.
Yeah. So I mean, you got all that. So, all right, my friend, are you taking your Gators today?
You know it. In Florida, we trust. Hello to all the women down in Florida and my fellow friends in Florida, including Ray, my homie Jay down there in Tampa.
Well, I'm gonna go out of the state. I'm gonna take the Beavers. I think the Beavers are gonna win this ball game because I don't trust your quarterback. I don't trust your wide receivers. I don't even know who. I had never heard of your quarterback that's playing.
Taking a Beaver over the Gator, huh?
Yeah, I got the Beavers.
Beaver.
Yeah, they're gonna build a dam and they're gonna keep the Gators inside the water. So you know, I got a Beaver that can build dams, so to keep the Gators back.
You got a Beaver that can build a dam. That's a T-shirt.
Yeah,
that's a mud flap on an 18-wheeler.
Oh yeah, it could be. It could be. All right, my friend. We got to keep going right along here because the show will be over by 11 o'clock. So we almost to the first hour, almost gone. We got about an hour and 10 minutes left here right now. All right, my friend. We are going to move on from the Beavers to the Cougars to the Bulldogs. We got Washington State Cougars versus the Fresno State Bulldogs today. They're playing in the... Watch it be some kind of sexual bowl. Oh, they're playing in the Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl presented by Stiffield.
How'd Jimmy Kimmel get a bowl?
I don't know. It's on ABC, so that's probably why. Because it shows on ABC.
Damn. Why they don't have a what's the other dude name that's on Channel 5? What's his name? Jimmy Fallon Bowl. Why do you have a bowl?
I don't know, because nobody plays on NBC.
Notre Dame?
Yeah, but Notre Dame bowl game ain't going to be on NBC.
You're right. There's no bowl games on NBC today, but there is a bowl game on NBC. Huh, that's interesting. This is the second time that bowl game's been named after him.
Yeah.
And where it's played at?
It's played at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California.
Wow, they playing with the Rams and
the Chargers.
Play it. Wow. Damn, that's not a cheap venue.
Yeah, but see, you ready for this? Just listen to the bowl. It's called the Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl, presented by Stiffield. It's just not the Jimmy Kimmel Bowl. It's
that's two sponsors on that. It's genius, though. They sold the fuck out of it.
Yeah,
they got their money. Wow,
and they got a team out of Washington State, and they got a team out of California playing. So,
and Washington State isn't that Mike Leach's former team?
Yes,
I got a funny feeling. Mm-hmm. Go on with the rest of your stats on those teams. My bad.
What do you think they're going to do? Run the missing man formation?
No, I just think they're going to wear a commemorative patch for him, probably a moment of silence. They're going to do something for him. I hope that guy at the game who had the flag that got ESPN to come there, I hope they find a way to make him there because he's a big fan of Mike Leach.
Yeah.
But I got a feeling that team's going to go out there and play for him, especially the coaches.
Yeah, Washington State is favored by, according to matchup predicted, 57.2 to 42.8% to Fresno State. If you look at these two quarterbacks here, they're totally different. Ward is 298 out of 465 for 3,094 yards, 23 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. And Hidner, 228 out of 314, 2,616 yards, 18 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. But if you look at the running game, the dominant of the running game will be Mims out of Fresno State, 243 carries for 1,161 yards, 16 touchdowns. And Watson, who leads the Cougars, 130 carries for 736 yards and 8 touchdowns. The receiving core,
ratio, 18-3. I like that.
Also, the receiving core goes to Fresno State also. Marino Cooper, 80 reception, 1,051 yards and 5 touchdowns. To Streamberlin for the Cougars, 51 receptions, 602 yards and 5 TDs, leading the team there. So, which do you think is going to happen here? Because you got teams that both don't run the ball very effectively. Cougars only average 112.3 yards a game to 125.2. They're both pass heavy teams.
Yeah, especially Fresno State, I do believe.
Yeah, they're 269.8 for Fresno, 263.5 for the Cougars. But the defense is only giving up 394.1 yards for the Cougars, 351.1 yards for Fresno. Fresno is only giving up 193.3 yards per game passing, 157.8 for rushing. The Cougars give up 266.7 yards passing and 127.4 yards rushing. That's the breakdown of their defense. Both teams.
I got Washington State airing this ball out today. Probably passing over 500 yards. They're going to air this thing out today. They're going to air this thing out. They're going to show you the true meaning of an aerial attack. And they're going to do it all in the name of Mike Leach. I'm rolling with that.
Now, do you think that they had a little time to do this and getting the word that he was in the hospital, it was very serious when he went into the hospital on Sunday and he died on that Monday. Do you think that they went back and looked at some of the Washington State Cougar team's offense that Mike Leach had and put some of those play in for today?
Oh, yes.
To make
yes.
their thing?
Whether it's a blowout or not, at some point in the game, the announcers are going to make a statement or a call, or the sideline reporter, or maybe the pregame or the postgame. They're going to say, hey, this play here was called out of respect to Mike Leach and homage to Mike Leach. This play here was called specific for that, and they're going to put it side by side, the origin of the play and all the stories. We're going to get all that, and I love it.
Yeah. So to me, I think Washington State is going to win because of the Leach factor. I think they are going to play for him emotionally. Why? I think that's going to gear up some of these players here, even though some of these players did not play with him under the tutelage, but knows who he is because of the history of the school. So I think Washington State will win this ball game. I don't think it's going to be close. I have a feeling that Washington State is going to probably bury him today. I see the score probably about 56, maybe 10 at the most.
It'd be awesome if they score 61 points.
Yeah, that'd be. A lot of things happen. A lot of strange things can happen in college football.
Yeah, buddy.
You know,
I'm going Washington State.
They could get 59 points, and then Fresno decides to go back and do a safety to help them get that 61.
Unless the score equals 61, both scores combined, that could be nice too.
Yeah, true. So we both got Washington State on this one here. All right, my friend. We have to move on to the school that we really don't want to talk about, but we got to say a little bit of things. It ain't got to be nice, but Rice against Southern Mississippi, the Golden Eagles. We know the situation there. Why we don't like them. This game is in the Lending Tree Bowl. Ironic, they're playing in the Lending Tree Bowl. This is ironic to the situation that's going on with the Brett Favre situation, lending money to this university. They go to the Lending Tree Bowl in Hancock Whitney Stadium in Mobile, Alabama. At all places, they're going to Alabama.
I wonder if any protesters are going to be outside of the stadium. Where is Favre? Where is Favre? Answer our questions. Where is Favre? My mom applied for food stamps. Where is Favre? I wonder where any protesters like that be out there. I'm just curious. There are some interesting protesters outside of any collegiate or professional venue. Have you noticed that before?
Yeah.
They might not make the major news or the minor news, but you see them. And sometimes I say to myself, I wonder what happened.
I don't know. When the bowl game comes to Jacksonville, there is a person that will sit there with his megaphone, Bible scripture out to everybody that passes him.
Now, I get that. But I'm talking about an actual, you're protesting something, no, their cheese sucks. Don't eat the cheese. Don't eat the cheese. Don't. That's what I'm talking about. Or what they did for Deshaun, things of that nature. I've never seen it to the magnitude of that when it comes to, Michigan does it for the coaching staff of what happened there in the 60s. But with this Brett Favre situation and Southern Miss playing Rice in a financial mortgage sponsored event, it's wild.
Hey, if you look at it too, Rice is 5-7, so they must be hurting for teams to play in the bowl games if they letting a 5-7 Rice team play.
Well, somebody probably opted out, as it always does. A lot of players don't want to play in bowl games anymore. Thanks, Bosa. So that happens on that level. Depending on, the time of the year, family travel, are we playing on the next level? Is everybody heard it is flu season? I'm not making excuses, but that's what's going on right now. Yeah. The reality of the ordeal that sometimes a 5-7 team gets in there. Out of the pure asshole in me, I'm taking Rice.
Yeah, we made a vow that we both weren't going to pick Southern Miss on a protest basis. We are protesting Southern Miss here on the All Sports All Plays College Breakdown Show. So if you're a Southern Miss fan, I'm so sorry. But till that situation gets clear and Brett Favre comes out and says, okay, I did it, blah, 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 we might go back to getting them a chance. But right now, the raisin man that he's holding up is saying that we need to take Rice. So we're going to go ahead and take Rice for this ball game here. So
there's Ricey. Get it, Ricey.
Hey, let's see here. We got Florida Need Jesus. We already said that. And then this guy here, I don't know what. I don't read emojis, so.
I don't read emojis.
I'm still in the process of reading English. You know, reading the right way. People now got emojis here, and once again, he comes back with another emoji. So you know. We're not from outer space.
I saw a movie that day. The mom said, "I don't talk text. You got to talk to me. I don't talk text."
Well, okay. Our next game we're going to be talking about right now here on the All Sports All Plays College Breakdown Show will be SMU versus BYU. This game will take place at 7:30 on the ABC. This is the University Stadium in New Mexico, Albuquerque, New Mexico. This is the New Mexico Bowl.
Damn, let's say New Mexico like 5 times. It can't be new anymore.
It's called New Mexico Bowl.
And they play in New Mexico.
Yeah, they're playing in Albuquerque.
Who was the creative person behind that?
a lot of good sporting events happen in Albuquerque. You know, the North Carolina State famous Gary Wittenberg throws the ball up for a prayer, and Lorenzo Charles puts it in for the national championship in 1983. The cardiac
Jimmy
pack.
V running all over the place looking for somebody to hug.
Yeah, and it was a very interesting story about that too. That they didn't stay in a regular hotel; they stayed in a motel because they couldn't find a hotel that will take them, so they had to stay in a motel. And he said that the bed was hard as a rock. This is what Jimmy V said. The bed was hard as a rock. The team didn't get a good night's sleep. And the bus they had to take was a high school bus, not a regular coach bus. They had to take a high school bus.
Wow.
Because they didn't think they were going to get that far. So by the time they made their reservations, everything was taken up. So they had to do this.
Wow.
It was a very interesting note, tidbits on that. You know,
trials and tribulations of 80s basketball, kids.
Yeah, and that's when they beat the Houston Cougars, the high fly Seven Gemma. That Houston team has got to be kind of sit back. They had all these talented players on it, and they didn't win the national championship.
Happens every year.
Yep. But anyway, let's carry on out of basketball back into football here. What is your take on this BYU and this SMU game? The 3-letter words they use.
Well, Brigham Young is in for it to me. They're playing with their 5th quarterback today. 5th. So I'm more intrigued what they're going to do on this offensive side when they have the ball. So that means they had to work out last night in the hotel, this morning in the hotel, break down what they're going to do offensively. Unless it turns out to be like a Navy situation, who's going to run the ball the entire game. But a 5th quarterback, that's unheard of to me. That's unheard of. I would love to know what position he's coming from to play quarterback today. I would love to know this.
Yeah, and then SMU, what's interesting, another tidbit interesting about this game is you have the Mormons versus the Methodists, the Southern Methodists.
This is going to get very, very – I can imagine the trash talk at the tailgate.
I can see it now. Brigham Young fans, look, this is my wife number 1, my wife number 2, my wife number 3. And then Southern Miss would be like, oh, I only have one wife, so, that'd be a very interesting talk. But do you know another interesting, too, that SMU is a nonprofit college?
Did not know that.
Yeah, it's a nonprofit college because it's dealing with a Christian. It's dealing with a religion.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I didn't know that either until I looked it up. Don't ask me why I looked it up. I just wanted to see what it was talking about here.
For sure.
But SMU is favored to win 52.5 to 47.5. So this is very close between any team can win this ball game. We're talking about the 5th quarterback here. on BYU. We really don't have any stats on him really that much. They did have Hall up there, but he's injured, so we don't know exactly how that quarterback situation is going to go. That's part of why the SMU is favored, because or DCA, how you pronounce that dude's name? That's the quarterback.
Leroy.
He's 260. He's 261 out of 406, 3,306 yards, 31 TDs, and only 9 interceptions. What a ratio that was. That's a good ratio right there to have.
I'm going with the underdog. I'm going with BYU. I'm more intrigued on this whole BYU whole philosophy on discipline and sticking to the progress in the process, sticking to that. I got to see what they've done with this football program to utilize a 5th quarterback this year.
Yeah, I thought your scenario would be I'm going BYU because I want to have multiple wives.
Hell no. Oh, no, damn, multiple wives? No. Hell, I don't want one.
That's what I thought you was going to go. I thought you were going to hit that direction, you know.
Hell no, I don't want no multiple wives. That's the worst decision ever. No.
He found Mr. Tinny Co. R. Dog Hotel Holiday Inn. Okay, whatever. And David said that's going to be one interesting Christmas party. Yeah, it's going to be one interesting Christmas party. You know, how do you introduce multiple wives at your Christmas party?
They wearing name tags. They wearing name tags.
Yeah, but if they all have kids, you know, how you gonna
keep
the kids?
Wives, make up your mind now. The kids stand in front of the mama. Everybody got name tags on with a big number on who they are, so everybody know where they need to stand.
Now the
1,
question,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, y'all over here. Kids, get in front of your mama.
Now the question is, to keep the birthday straight, did they make a database for it?
We got one calendar on the wall, color coded. Every wife 1 and kids have their color code. Wife 2 and kids have their color code. We got this.
See, guys, I tell you what, you watch us, you get all kinds of stuff.
You watch the game. If you damn fool got 6 wives. Well, he might as well.
If you watch the College Game Day on ESPN, you don't get this kind of insight like we give here. We give all kinds of insights on this show here.
God. Oh my goodness. 6 wives? Hell no.
Hey man, you had to put it in there, man.
No.
You got to
talk. That's too much talking. I don't want to talk that much.
You got the Mormons versus the Southern Methodists.
No. How was your day? Oh God.
I just think about if they
I churned butter today, honey. Good for you.
Just think about if he gets nagged on, you know. All right, our next game. After this, we're going to take a commercial break to finish all the rest of the stuff up. But the next game we're going to talk about is the North Texas versus Boise State.
Ooh, what is game at?
About to get it here in a minute. Give me time to get the bowl. The bowl now is the spreadsheet I got.
Mm-hmm.
This game is the last game of the day on ESPN at 9:15. It's called at the Toyota Stadium in Fresno, Texas. It's called the Fresno Bowl, presented by Servo.
Fresno, Texas.
Yep. Frisco.
Damn.
Yep. Frisco, Texas.
Damn.
At the Toyota Stadium.
And that's Boise, man. They should do them a little better than that. Where's the hospital? Where's the love, baby? Damn it. Well, I guess if you win, you get better venues and better payouts. But for now, we'll take this one. I've always been a big fan of Boise State ever since the days of the Statue of Liberty play.
All right, my friend. We know about Boise State. We know about the trick plays. The prop bet today in Vegas is, how many trick plays does Boise State run today?
2.
All right. Since you said 2, the next prop bet on top of that is get you double or nothing. And this one, if you take the 2, which 2 are they going to run? The flea flicker or the Statue of Liberty? Or both?
Flea flicker and onside kick.
Oh, you going with the dangerous one.
I'm going with the rampage. Surprise onside kick. Surprise onside kick. Not lining up for the onside kick and getting it because everybody fucking know that shit is coming. I'm talking about the one that the Saints did. Nobody knew that was coming. Rampage. Get him.
Well, the University of Texas has got a 33.3% chance to 66.7% chance to win against Boise. 7-6, University of North Texas versus the 9-4 Boise State. The Broncos versus the Mean Green? Whatever. Yeah, the Mean Green. Mean Green. That's what North Texas is. You know. So, my friend, Boise don't pass the ball much. They do pass. They do have a quarterback that passed 1,905 yards, 153 out of 249, 13 touchdowns, 6 interceptions to North Texas guy who throws the ball all over the place. 215 out of 379, 3,309 yards, 32 touchdowns, and 13 interceptions. But the running goes to Boise State, which is 214 carry from Houlihan for 1,133 yards as their leading rusher, to Abanabi, who is 98 carries, 740 yards for Mean Green. Receiving core goes over to the Mean Green side. 37 receptions, 650 for Burns. He's the leading receiver, and the leading receiver for the Bronco is Caples, 45 receptions, 462 yards, 4 touchdowns. So we got a contrast here of play. We got a passing and a running game. Does Boise run all over the Mean Greens today?
If the running game is available, they're going to attack it. Of course, they're going to try the running game first, see what's available. They always can do the passing game. But if that running game is there, that's going to really open up the passing game. So this could be a double whammy. A double whammy doohickey-boo for Boise State Broncos winning this one.
Well, both teams are pretty balanced. The Broncos, 194.7 yards passing to 187.0 rushing for 381.7 total offense to 262.2 passing to 201.7 running for their 463.8 on total offense for the Mean Green. So if the Mean Green can do it, can they pass all over the Broncos? But hold on a minute. The Broncos only giving up 160.7 yards passing, 120.8 yards rushing for 281.5 total defense. The Mean Genes giving up 271.7 yards passing, 188.5 rushing for a total of 460.2 total defense. See the contrary? See how that blends? Mm-hmm. The Mean Green gives up about the same as much as they gain.
Right.
So
they're pushing and pulling against each other.
Yeah.
It's called Paul.
This is going to be a tug of war. This is going to be a tug of war.
I think Boise State going to come out on top of this one, though. I think that running game is going to be at a whole different dimension. I can see them going over $150 and really doing something with the deep passing ball. The defense can get a couple of touchdowns, maybe a scoop and score in there.
Now, my question is to you. Back in the younger days when we played sandlot football, when the center hiked the ball to the quarterback and the quarterback touched the ball and the center takes off running with the ball. Do we see that play today by the Broncos?
The old center sneak.
Yes.
Ooh, depends on where we at field position. I can see it in the red zone inside the 5, but I'm going to go with the no. I like the flea flicker and the I wasn't talking to you, Alexa. Bruh. Having these things in the house, bro, I swear. In the middle of the night, she just start talking. I live alone. There's still a woman talking in my house. How is that possible? Wasn't even talking to her.
I don't know, but David said, well, this stream is going to hell. LOL. I thought you had
the wise comment.
I thought you had a girl in there talking to you. Until then it started saying
that's that ALEXA thing.
You got a spy in your house.
Huh?
You got a spy in your house.
That damn machine listens too much.
Ain't just a machine. You probably got some woman listening to you.
No, the hell I don't. Not up in here. Not up in here.
I told you, man, if you come to this place here, you don't know what you're going to know. I mean, this show is very out there. We do college football, make certain plays, so we put in some caveats, and it just goes out to show that our fans know what we're talking about when they make these comments on their thing. So, but my friend, this game is at 9:15.
I bet that'd be sweater Christmas party when that come on.
Now, will you carry your phone with you where you can sit down and watch it?
No, they have televisions where I'm going to that ugly sweater Christmas party at.
Oh.
I just look up. And then my phone vibrates and let me know on the score update. So either way, it's a plus for me.
Oh. I won't go there, but, vibration.
I don't like putting sound on my phone. My phone goes off too much on Saturdays and Sundays.
All right, if you're making a bet in this game, the over and under is 60, and Boise is favored by 10.5 points a game. Favored in this game by 10.5.
Give me the 10.
Give you the 10? Yeah, I'm taking Boise in this one, too. But they're not playing in the Blue Smurf. They're not playing in the Blue Smurf. All right, my friend. When we come back, after these quick messages, we got Marshall versus UConn. We got Eastern Michigan versus San Jose State. We got Liberty versus Toledo. We got Western Kentucky versus South Alabama. We got Baylor versus Air Force. And we got Louisiana versus Houston to finish it all up here on this game. So we're going to be right back after these messages. This is the All Sports, All Plays College Breakdown on the All Sports, All Plays Network. I am Ray. That is Dre. No relation to Dr. Dre. Nope. That is Dre. We'll be right back after these messages.
All Sports, All Plays. All Sports, All Plays. All Sports, All Plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. Great eye in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. Network. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
What did you say?
I said Kobe Bean Bryant has been overrated ever since he passed away.
Nah, I'd say they could lose about 4, but I don't see them losing 5. You know what I mean?
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
This is the Fonx D Streaming Network. Register to come on our channel at fonxdnetwork.com.
Welcome back to the All Sports, All College Breakdown on the All Sports, All Plays Network. And once again, let's give a free reminder here. The Who's to Blame podcast, my man, the doctor, the thugonomics, the man who makes the myth the legend, who doesn't like to have 5 women as his wives. He don't like to have wives, period. He wants to be by himself, but he does have a woman in his thing called Alexis. You have heard it today. How many people want to give you raise the roof, baby? Raise the roof, my man. Dre Montez. There you go,
What
bro.
kind of damn introduction was that? The man that doesn't want 5 wives, the man that doesn't want a wife, the man that has a woman in his house named Alexa. What the hell?
Hey, man. Hey, I can make more introductions for you. I got more ways to bring you on this show than you think. That you can count on your fingers.
No. I just stick with Dre Montez.
That's what you think. Hey, just wait till next year when I bring out a sheet of paper full of names for you.
That's too funny.
But anyway, let's move right along here. You know, we're getting to the nitty gritty of the countdown. We're down about 29 more minutes before the kickoff at 11 o'clock. So, Dre, the Marshall, the Thundering Herd versus UConn, the Huskies, today. Now, this
I
game
know
is
Molly
actually
from ESPN. She's a big UConn fan, but I love me some Marshall football, man. Not just the movie. I just love me some people from West Virginia. And
you ready for this?
Marshall is just
This game is played on Monday. It's at 2:30 p.m. ESPN. This game is played at Brooks Stadium in South Carolina, in Conway, South Carolina. It's called the Myrtle Beach Bowl. Temperature is going to be 50 degrees.
Oh.
And you got a team out of West Virginia going into Myrtle Beach.
They love it. Same thing. Same type of backyard.
So that means, will we see a lot of brothers and cousins and sisters in the stands?
No, not at Marshall. No, not at Marshall. Be more at UConn than Marshall.
Marshall is favored by 11 points in this ball game. It's going to be 50 degrees.
I'm taking that all day.
Now, we know the type of girls at Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Is 50 degrees still bikini weather down there?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Who wears a bra? What a bra's for? Why call it a bra? Is it a bra, bruh? We say no to bras around here. No bra. No bra for you.
UConn's only got 20.1% chance of winning this ball game. 39.9% for Marshall. The Thunder and Herd, if you're looking at it here, Marshall's pretty balanced. They got a quarterback that is 121 out of 215, 1,465 yards, 8 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. But they got a running back who has 281 carries, 1,423 yards, and 16 touchdowns.
Damn, he's getting it in there.
But on the other hand, UConn's quarterback is only passed for 1,241 yards out of 231 yards. 31 attempts for 9 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Not very good. He don't even have a picture. They don't have a picture of him.
He wasn't available on photo day.
But the question to me is here, Marshall is weight balanced at 200.3 yards passing, 205 rushing. UConn likes to rush the ball more, 194.9 to 106.9 passing, but 301.8 total yards to 405.8 for Marshall. Marshall's defense only giving up 88.8 yards rushing, 204 passing, 292.8 on total defense. UConn's giving up 386.9. That breakdowns at 220.6 for passing, 166.3 for rushing. This is a one-sided game.
Oh, yeah.
On paper. How does UConn combat all the stats to make them believe they can win this game down in Conway, South Carolina?
They better hope that Marshall went out last night and hope the flu bug hit them. I don't see UConn even surviving this game beyond the second quarter. I think the game is over with pretty early.
Marshall's coming in the last 5, 4-1. They won 4 straight. Loss came to the team they're playing in the stadium, Coastal Carolina University. Out of Conway is the last time Marshall have lost.
Coastal Carolina.
Yes. UConn coming in 3-2. They lost their last game against Army 34-17, won 3 straight after that, and then they lost to Ball State on the 15th of October, 25-21. So,
stinger.
This game is going to be played on Monday at 2:30 p.m., which is 14:30 military time. Brad's out there. So, capacity is 21,000 people. I don't know if there's going to be a sellout crowd. Could be all Marshall fans that are,
nobody's going to work
UConn.
anymore. That many people can go to the World Cup. We can fill up the stadium for UConn. Let's go.
The over and under is 40.5.
Is how much?
40.5.
Okay.
Marshall could probably score that by himself.
Easily.
Marshall's favored by 11 points.
Yeah, I'm taking 11. That's good. I like that.
So you taking Marshall? I got Marshall.
Yeah.
All righty, my friend. We're moving out of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Where are we gonna go next?
Where are we going to next, Dad?
I don't know.
Shimmy down, son. We're almost there.
But this game is on Tuesday, December 20th, 2022. This game is played on the blue turf in Boise, Idaho. It's the Albertson Stadium. This is the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. The winner gets the potatoes. Eastern Michigan versus San Jose State. California versus Michigan. The battle.
Yeah, basically. I'm liking San Jose State in this.
The over and under is 54. San Jose State is favored by 40, and it's going to be 19 degrees.
Oh, hell no.
And this game is played at 3:30 p.m. on Tuesday. 15:30, you military brats out there.
They playing outdoors?
Yes, they're playing on the blue turf.
I'm changing my pick. Eastern Michigan gonna win that game.
Well,
19 degrees.
If you look at it here, Eastern Michigan is pretty much balanced. 1,813 yards passing out of 239 attempts. They got a running back who's got over 1,000 yards, 224 carries, 13 touchdowns. If you look at San Jose State, Cordero, he's passed 233 out of 382 for 2,884 yards, 20 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Robertson has carried the ball 143 times, 296 yards, 10 touchdowns, that leading running back. But San Jose State got the receiving core. Egg Cook is their leading receiver, 63 receptions, 983 yards, 10 touchdowns. Tacum, 42 receptions, 592 yards, and 9 touchdowns.
Damn it.
Eastern Michigan gets a 33.5% chance of winning to 66.5% for San Jose State. Both teams are pretty good in rushing defense. Eastern Michigan is giving up 158.1 yards rushing to San Jose State, 122.1.
I don't think it gets that cold where San Jose State is located at. That 19 degrees? That's cold.
19 degrees.
That's cold. Yeah, I'm going with Eastern Michigan on that. I'm gonna roll with Eastern Michigan on this one. That weather is a factor. Real talk. It's still snowing in Buffalo.
Right now, San Jose State University is 34 degrees Fahrenheit.
Change my pick. I'm going back to San Jose.
Man, I get Keegan getting red over here, man. I got San Jose State winning this ballgame myself.
Yeah, I got San Jose State.
All right, my friend. We're going to leave this game here. It's going to be played on the same day, but a different time and a different place. We got Liberty versus Toledo Rockets. This game is This game is played on Tuesday at 7:30. That is 19:30 military time on ESPN. This is a FAU stadium, Boca Raton, Florida. This roofclean.com, Boca Raton Bowl.
I used to want to move to Boca Raton so bad when I was a kid. Boca Raton.
We're leaving a 19-degree temperature to a 75-degree weather.
Oh,
Bikini
no
weather.
bra weather. No bra.
Yeah.
Nothing. I'm on TV, daddy. Over here, daddy. Cash app me, daddy.
Liberty comes in at 8-4. Toledo comes in at 8-5. Hughes Freeze has left now. He is in Auburn. I don't know if he's coaching the bowl. They haven't made it official if he's coaching the bowl or not. If you look at this thing here, it's pretty much self-explanatory. Both teams on offense is 400.2 yards for Liberty, 405 for Toledo. Both teams' defense is 345 for Liberty, 331.9. So we're gonna have a little bit of a defensive battle code play. How does Liberty take care of the Rockets?
I think Liberty is going to try to do something completely different than they've normally done before. And I didn't know that football program has come that far, that fast. That football team is really, really good. I don't know how they're recruiting, but they're really, really good. But I think Hugh Freeze kind of affects that team, though. He was the spirited person of that team. Hopefully it trickles down to an interim coach that had a very close-knit bond with the team. He can carry that whole coaching philosophy on. And at the same time, Toledo has a lot of damn speed too, man. They can get down the field. I love watching their special teams play. And their defense is pretty nasty too.
Yeah,
it's going to be a close game.
If you look at this, Liberty is coming in the last three games they're 0-3 in the last three games. They lost to UConn 36-33, lost to Virginia Tech 23-22, and they lost to New Mexico State University 49-14. As for Liberty, Toledo coming in on a 1-3, 1 win, 3 losses the last 3 games. They lost to Bowling Green State 42-35. They lost to Wyoming. Western Michigan University 20-14, and then they beat Ohio 17-7. So, how do you look at this game here? This game is played in Boca Raton at the Florida Atlantic University.
Like I said, I look at Liberty trying to really make a statement in this game. Hey, we know our coach is gone, but we still got the same intensity we've had all year. And at the same time, Toledo is like, we know we should have had a better year than what we've had. Little ups and downs this year. Like I said, I expect this to be a high-scoring game. Both defenses, whoever defense shows up has the better odds of winning this matchup. But I'm rolling with Liberty in this game. I'm on that Coach Rura spirit today. Players are doing it for the coaches again, whether it's the players or the coaching staff. If you left a good coaching philosophy and you were good to your players, I think it can carry on.
I'm going with the Rockets. I think the Rockets is going to blast off today. I think it's going to be a fast pace for the Rockets. I think Liberty is just going to be downplayed. The spirit is gone, like you said. I think, as people pass away, you lose your spirit going up to heaven. I think they lost their spirit. He went to Alabama. He went to Auburn. He didn't go to heaven. He just went over to Auburn. So I think that's what that's going to happen. I think they pull the life support out of the Liberty University. I think Liberty goes back to where they were before Hugh Freeze got there, which was just a team just being there.
That was a nice little pun and shot you gave right there. That was nice. Well done, Ray.
It was very respectful. Nothing bad.
You stay classy, Ray.
I think I go to church and repent,
He's gonna be all right. That boy be all right now, y'all.
All right, we're moving right along. This game is played on Wednesday, December 21st at 9 p.m. on ESPN. This is the Caesar Superdome, the New Orleans, Louisiana, the R+L Couriers New Orleans Bowl. South Alabama is going to be the home team against Western Kentucky, the Hilltoppers. Does the Hilltoppers make their way? Yeah, South Alabama.
Oh, South Alabama. Okay.
Yes. Western Kentucky's 8-5. South Alabama's 10-2. They are picking University of South Alabama as 4-5 favorite over Western Kentucky. But my friend, can the Hilltoppers come all the way from Western Kentucky, hilltopping their way all the way to New Orleans to Bourbon Street?
What's that quarterback name at Western Kentucky?
His name, darn, he don't have a picture either. His name is Reed.
Reed.
Yes, he's 353. He's 353 out of 547, 4,247 yards, 36 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. They have a running back that has 73 carries, 496, and Roby Charnog.
Yeah, that is the kid. Then that is the kid. He's getting a lot of comparisons to Mike White, quarterback of the Jets. It's how he gets rid of the ball in his field vision. Yeah, that's that kid they've been talking about since week 5 of week 6.
And they have a wide receiver named Corley. He's got 90 receptions, 1,179 yards, and 9 touchdowns. Wayne leads the receiver for South Alabama, 56 receptions for 795 yards and 9 touchdowns. Weber is that running back who is the leading carry of 197 carries for 1,014 yards, 13 touchdowns. And then they have Bradley, who's the quarterback, 240 out of 373 attempts for 2,976 yards and 25 TDs and 10 interceptions.
Jeez.
The over and under in this ballgame is 56 points. And like I said, South Alabama is favored by 4.5. South Alabama has come in on a 5-game winning streak, beating Arkansas State, Georgia Southern, Texas State, University of Southern Miss, Old Dominion. And then Western Kentucky is coming in, winning the last 3 out of the last 2, winning 3 out of 2, 3 out of 5. They lost to North Texas 40-13. They beat Charlotte 59-7. They beat Rice 45-10. They lost to Auburn 41-17, and they beat the team FAU 32-31 in overtime.
I'm going with Western Kentucky.
You're going with the Hilltoppers.
The Hilltoppers.
I thought you said you like the Hilltoppers.
Yeah, the Hilltoppers. Yeah.
I'm going with South Alabama. I'm staying in the South.
Keep it in the South. Staying in the South. Gotta keep it in the South. What you do, gotta keep it in the South.
Yeah, you know when they shot that oil, they moving to Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
Got a daughter named Allie Mae, son named Jethro.
Oh, the Beverly Hillbillies. Old time.
Yeah. They should guess what I was talking about. All right, my friend. We are now moving to the Preppy Force, the Air Force, versus the Baylor Bears.
Ooh.
This game will be played on, you guessed it, Thursday at 7:30 p.m. People up in Air Force time, that will be 21:30 Air Force time. This game is played in Fort Worth, Texas at the Amon G. Carter Stadium. This is called the Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl. What did you think about that? You have an Armed Forces team playing in the Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl.
That's nice. I like that. That's pretty cool.
You got a team out of Waco. There's 6-6 Baylor going up against Air Force's 9-3.
Air Force is a really good team this year too.
Baylor's favorite by 5.5 in this game, and the temperature is going to be 32 degrees in Fort Worth.
Jesus, I'm cold when you said that. I'm taking Baylor in this one for sure. Ever since RG3 spoke to them kids, they've been playing different.
Air Force is only has a 30.9% chance to 69.1 for Baylor. Baylor has got all the thing, but the one thing what you got to listen to this is the Air Force option, the triple option for Air Force. They don't pass the ball much. Their quarterbacks only attempted 76 passes and completed 36 with 733 yards and 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Mm-hmm. But they have a running back, Mr. Roberts, who leads them with 308 carries, 1,612 yards, and 15 touchdowns to Reese, who's leading Baylor, 190 carries with 962 yards and 14 touchdowns. But Shapen is the quarterback, 222 out of 345 attempts for 2,602 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions. The leading receiver is Baldwin for Baylor, 33 receptions, 565 yards, 4 touchdowns. And D. Comer leads the Falcons of Air Force, 13 receptions, 384 yards, and 4 touchdowns. You see the disparity. Mm-hmm. Can Air Force run on Baylor?
That's going to be a tough pill to swallow in that weather especially. But to go early and start early to try to establish the run game is never a bad thing at all. So they attempt a high running percentage in the first quarter. And that time possession in their favor, it could be a long afternoon for Baylor Bears. They're able to contain the run play and put them at more of a 2nd and 7 than a 2nd and 4 or 3. That'd be a better fit for them on the afternoon.
Yeah, for Air Force, the weather ain't going to be no condition because right now it's 36 degrees Fahrenheit and the low gets all the way down to 14 degrees. The low tomorrow up in them is 6 degrees, so that's not really going to affect them as much as it does anybody else.
Cold weather affects a lot.
Yeah. But they're Air Force guys, so they even though they're in Colorado,
they're used to it.
Puff pass don't work and for that school, But anyway, got the drug test. You got to still meet the drug test, 48.5 is the under. Will you take that bet?
No, not in this one. Not in this one. Good try, Vegas. No, I would not take the under in that.
Well, if you look at Air Force, they're balanced. They're not really balanced. They're 330 yards for rushing per game to 67 yards, 0.8 for passing. Give up that 398.7. They do give up only 256.4 on defense, 156.7 passing, 99.8 rushing. If you look at Baylor Bears, offense is 429.2. They are 235.1 for passing. 194.1 breaks down that 429.2. The 370.3 yards allowed for Baylor, that breakdown looks like this: 232.8 for passing and 137.6 yards for rushing. So Baylor's going to do it through the air. Air Force is going to try to do it on the ground.
Hello, America.
You figure Air Force would be the other way around. Aim it high, aim it long. Fly everywhere. They played the Army style. They play the ground war game. But even though the Navy's got more planes than the Air Force.
Facts.
And then Army comes back with their little blow saying, "Oh, we got more boats than Navy."
Boats, yeah, but not ships.
Yep. But anyway, Air Force coming in, winning the last 4 games, beating Army 13-7, beat University of New Mexico 35-3, beat Colorado State 24-12, and beat San Diego State 13-3. And Baylor's coming in with a 3-game losing streak. They lost to K-State 31-3. They lost to TCU 29-28, and they lost to Texas 38-27. They did beat Oklahoma 38-35, and they did beat Texas Tech University 45-17.
They beat them.
So, but they're 6-6 and 9-3. But BYU has played in a tougher conference than Air Force. So, taking the Wackos?
I'm taking the Baylor Bears, please, sir.
Yeah, the Wackos.
Give me the
Waco,
Baylor
Texas.
Bears. You know about the Baylor Bears. Give me Baylor.
Yeah, I'm gonna take them too. I don't trust Air Force. They might break their nails. Start crying about it. They're the preppy force. Air Force is the preppy force.
Each of them have their characters, I tell you that.
All right, my friend. We are now moving to the last two games for the week. These games are played on Friday. This first game is at 3:00 p.m. on ESPN on Friday. Louisiana versus the Houston Cougars. 6-6 Louisiana against 75 Houston. This is in Shreveport, Louisiana, Independence Stadium. This is the Union Home. This is the Reliance Technology Independence Bowl.
Port City. I hope everybody's okay. They had a little tornado touchdown there last week in the Shreveport area. So I hope everyone is okay in that area.
Temperature
it's a fun game, man. It's a fun game down there in Shreveport.
The temperature at game time will be 33 degrees.
Damn.
But on the interesting notes of the 33 degrees, they give University of Louisiana 35.6% chance to beating Houston at 64.4%. Just
Houston can air that thing out, though. They really can.
The over and under is 58, and Houston is favored by 7.
I can see that.
Houston's both teams are. If you look at the offense comparison to their defense, Houston's over 463.8 yards on the offense total, and their total defense is 430. If you look at the Louisiana, the Raging Cajuns offense is 367.7. Their defense is giving up only 361.6 a game.
Isn't that where Florida's football coach came from?
Yep.
He'd go back.
Yep. Louisiana, the Raging Cajuns in their last 5 games are 2-3, and Houston in their last 5 games are 3-2.
Oh, they both a little tit for tat right there.
The interesting
seesaw action right there. They on the teeter-totter right there, Daddy.
The Raging Cajun won their last game against Texas State, 41-13, and Houston coming in off a loss. Houston's coming off a loss against Tulsa, 37-30. So that's a little bit of a situation there on this. If you really want the numbers here, Woolrich is the leading passer. 138 at 244, 1,661 yards, 15 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. But if you look at Houston, throws the ball all over the place, 316 out of 469 yard attempt for 3,845 yards, 37 TDs, and 10 interceptions. Both teams don't have a leading rusher over 1,000 yards. They are under 1,000 yards. Smith, the leading rusher for the Raging Cajun, 112 carries for 579 yards, 3 touchdowns, and Toon, 117 carries for 491 yards and 5 touchdowns. But Jefferson leads the receiving corps, 51 receptions, 810 for the Raging Cajun, 7 touchdowns. And Dell leads for the Cougars, 103 receptions for 1,354 yards and 15 touchdowns. And if you look at the hairstyle that Dell wears, looks like a helicopter. So that's why he flies so much. I'm serious.
Who you got?
Oh, you want me to pick? Well, even though Louisiana's name is the Raging Cajun, they ain't gonna be no Raging Cajun day. The Houston Cougars gonna jump over, gonna take the Raging out of it.
Yeah, that's
gonna cool them down. I'm going with the Cougars.
Yeah, I got Houston as well.
All righty.
See them air it out today. I want to see everybody air it out today in honor of Mike Leach. Let's go. Let's air that thing out today.
That's going to be on a Friday. That's the first game on Friday.
I'm talking about today. There were 6 games today. I'm talking about those. Air that thing out today. Air it out.
Well, my friend, We started the day with the ACC versus the SEC competition. Louisville, well, no, I'm sorry. We started off with the ACC team, not the SEC team. Louisville versus Cincinnati. We're going to finish up with the ACC team going up against the SEC team. We got Wake Forest going to be the home team, and they're going up against your Missouri Tigers.
Ooh, where's this game at?
This game is at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida.
Ooh, they get a field trip. We get to go to Florida, Daddy.
It's the Union Home Mortgage Garcebella Bowl.
Hey, all right, that's a good sponsor to have right there. If you're in a
It's
home buying phase, whether it's commercial or real estate, we got you covered.
And it's going to be 62 degrees. Wake Forest is favored by 1 point.
I've seen more Wake Forest games than Mizzou games this year, but I've seen more Mizzou highlights than Wake Forest highlights. And the highlights that I've seen in Mizzou, there's always a situation with the quarterback. He's a little indecisive on when he should throw, run, not throw. There's something going on. All I know, Mizzou need to get the ball to Luther Burden.
Well, the over and under is 61 points in this ball game. We
Mizzou
know
defense is suspect, so they can give up 80 points a game. Then sometimes they can play if it's called UGA.
Well,
I'm going Mizzou to win this game, though. I'm pulling for Mizzou.
My friend Cook, you talk about indecisive. They have another quarterback on the other side who is very decisive, and Sam Hartman.
Oh, that's the dude there.
247 completions out of 392, 3,421 yards, 35 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. And this is from a guy that did not supposed to play a single game this year because he had an infection.
What kind of infection?
He had some kind of staph infection in his leg.
Okay.
But he went and got it operated on, boom, came back out, boom, started the game, first game of the season. Now started the third game of the season, and he turned out to have a very good, like he played the first 2 games of the season, 3,421 yards, 35 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Wake Forest does have a good running game in Allison, who's got 149 carries for 643 yards and 5 touchdowns. And A.T. Perry is the best wide receiver on the team, 70 receptions, 980 yards, and 11 touchdowns. Levitt on the other side from Missouri, 56 receptions, 846 yards, 3 touchdowns, leading the team. And then Schrader, 157 carries for 691 yards, 8 touchdowns. And then Cook, 218 out of 334 attempts for 2,509 yards and 13 touchdowns and 7 interceptions.
I got Luther getting all 3. Hat trick. He's going to get a receiving touchdown, a kick return, and a punt return.
Wake Forest, by the matchup predictor, is 59.4% chance of winning to 40.6% chance of winning.
Okay. Mizzou, you on the clock. Let's go Tigers. M-I-Z-Z-O-U. Go Tigers.
If you look at it, Wake Forest is coming in. Out of the last 5, they have won 1 out of the last 4. Missouri coming in out of the last 5, won 3 out of the last. Have won 2 out of the last 3. But they have won a total of 3 out of the last 5. They beat South Carolina 23-17 back in October. They lost to the 2 straight losses to Kentucky 21-17. They lost to Tennessee 66-24. They beat New Mexico State 45-14, and they beat Arkansas 29-27.
Tell me that Georgia score they lost. Tell me that Georgia score.
Going to Georgia score? Let me go get I got to go pull the full schedule because it's above the 5 games. October 1st, they lost 26-22 Georgia.
To Georgia, the number 1 team in the country.
Yeah.
I would have, if I was Mizzou coaching staff, I would have built off that game so much to rebuild the whole attitude with the defense and the offense, to put some confidence in my quarterback, to give some assurance to the defense, even to pump up the coaching staff. I would have used that game. That was a big-ass game, man. And Mizzou played damn near perfect football, except for one play. One play changed that whole game around. Just one play. But that's what I would have done if I were Mizzou. It doesn't have to be consistently great play and wins. You get that one significant moment a game for a team that's on the teetering saw or the seesaw, however you want to say it, or on the fence. They don't know what's going on. You play one of those games, I bet it goes a long way with the message on what you're trying to do.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with you on that. All right, my friend, the capacity is 65,828 for the stadium. How many? This is a prop bet. This is in Vegas. Do they sell out the crowd? Do they sell out the stadium,
Hell
or
no.
does it come short?
Coming short. They're not selling out no damn Mizzou game and no damn Tampa. Playing against Wake Forest. Hell no.
All right,
I don't know. A lot of people down there need lawyers. There are a lot of lawyers in Tampa, and Wake is a law school.
All right, which fan base will have the most fans in the stadium?
Oh, Mizzou. Mizzou can travel. They like to get the hell up out them boots.
All right, so
they like to wear wife beaters with no bra, buddy. Our women hair classy.
This will be Sam Hartman's last game in a Wake Forest uniform.
XFL, here we come.
He's already said that he's not coming back. He said Wake Forest needs to go ahead and move on away from him. So he's not going to come back and take that COVID year that he has left on this. He hasn't made it official if he's heading to the transfer portal or if he's heading to the NFL. He don't know which one he wants to do yet.
Yeah, I sit and wait too. I wait till all the bowl games over with. I wait it out because the first camp they have to get naked in front of everybody, then voluntary camps don't start until late January and February. So he has a lot of time right now. So right now I'll be working on my dietitian, my weight trainer, and the weight program. I'll be working on all that right now, and a personal chef. I'll be worried about that right now because we got a crazy little holiday stretch going on.
All right, my friend. We have total of 12 games today. 12 games total, bowl games that we picked today. 6 of them played today, and the other ones played during the week. I got Wake Forest. You got Missouri. So we pretty much set it here on that. My thing is, let's talk about. We got 3 minutes here. Less than 3 minutes. The transfer portal. We talk about all the quarterbacks are in there. We got high profile quarterbacks. We got Brandon Armstrong from Virginia's in the transfer portal. We got Larry's in the transfer portal. If Sam Hartman comes in, we got pure 3 big name quarterbacks that are in this transfer portal. Georgia has been after Larry. They've been hammering him a little bit harder than most of them. Does he go to Georgia? Does Larry, the North Carolina State quarterback, they got injured? Will he end up at Georgia coming up next year? What is your prediction on his placement?
That's a great question. And with Freeze going to Auburn, I would wait as well. If you're a quarterback out there right now, I'll wait till every bowl game has been played. You never know what's going to happen with injuries and more transfer portals that are coming that way during this holiday break. But if you know you have the shoe in somewhere right now, I'll go ahead and make that move. I don't see Georgia being that antsy on going right at the quarterback. I think Georgia right now is just more running back, defensive schemes, and receivers over a quarterback coming in again. Stetson Bennett was a rare gem to come in there to be that good of a quarterback for Georgia, other than relying heavily on your running game and your defense.
Right. So we got that. I mean, too much of that. And then we got Mike Leach. You want everybody to air it out in the remembrance of him. We're doing
more. That thing got today in college football. Let's air it out. Air raid, baby.
Most likely every bowl game will have a moment of silence for him. So let's talk real quick about Jackson State and North Carolina Central real quick. On this game, Deion Sanders is coaching. They're showing the highlights. Him on the field right now. He is coaching this game. He said he wants to finish what he was doing. So now the question to you is, does North Carolina Central have a standing chance of beating a Deion Sanders coach team at Jackson State today?
I think NC Central has a shot because they have had a much tougher schedule than Jackson State has. Jackson State is a much faster team. So the team that has had a better competition schedule is in the championship, and the fastest team is in the championship. So this could get ugly really, really fast, depending on how the players respond that are at Jackson State, being on this stage. I do believe this is their third or fourth game on ESPN ABC affiliate this year, which is huge for HBCU. That is really them some damn good numbers right there for its viewership. At least people getting to see these kids play. But I don't think there's no pressure on either side of this matchup at all. Again, NC Central is coming in off of, I think, a 4-1. They come in this game 4-1 or 5-1.
I think so.
But Jackson State is coming in here going after some history here, being undefeated, and sending Coach Prime out on the top for sure.
Yeah, and then they just showed that Kroom is going to be the coach for Cincinnati today, and on Louisville, Deion Branch is going to be the head coach today, the interim coach today.
Former NFL receiver Deion Branch.
Yep.
Awesome.
North Carolina Central, they're coming in here at 9-2 overall in the football program, 4-1 in their conference play.
It's just the speed factor. If Central doesn't get caught up and worried about the speed of what Jackson State is bringing to the table, this could be a pretty evenly matched game. I hate to say it and come down to a kicking game, but I hope it doesn't come down to that.
Well, North Carolina Central is coming in on a 4-game winning streak.
Yeah, that is 4 games. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the key there, too. They playing good football right now at the right time. Deion Sanders on the other side. The issue I want to talk about now is the issue with his son, the safety, not the quarterback son, but the safety son. He has now unfollowed all his family members from his social media.
Mm-hmm.
Deion Sanders in his press conference said that he was in the doghouse with him. Is it because that he decided he's going to stay at Jackson State instead of going with his father to Colorado?
No, I don't think that's it at all. I don't think it has anything to do with anything like that. I think it's more on a child-son for his disrespect. That's how I'm looking at it right now. I'm thinking he did something very disrespectful in the eyes of a father. We're not talking about a coach and a player. It's a father-son, and his father happened to be his coach.
Now, last question before we leave today here, because the game's about to start here on the Louisville and Cincinnati game. The last question is: does the safety, play today, or does he hold him out?
Oh, he's not going to play today. He's not going to do that. It's nothing that petty. If it was that point of suspension for a quarter or a half, it'd have been on the bottom of the screen in red this morning.
All right, so we're gonna add that game into our pick'em.
Okay.
I'm gonna add it.
I got Jackson State.
Now, you said that quick.
Yeah. I gotta go on a BEERUN, beer run. BEERUN, beer run. BEER, beer run.
Well, I look at it this way here on this game. This game's at noon on the ABC. As you say, you got Jackson State. I don't want to pick against Deion, but I don't like the team. I don't like Durham, North Carolina, really, except for only one team out of Durham, North Carolina likes the Durham Bulls.
That better strip.
I've been in North Carolina Central University's basketball stadium enough when Rodney Rogers played at Durham Hillside for our Pac-6 conference tournament in basketball. That the only teams up there at that stadium got blown out by Durham Hillside. My high school was the only team that played Durham Hillside close with Rodney Rogers and gave him a fight every time. But the late Rodney Rogers, he passed away too. I think last year somebody said he passed away. But I'm picking Jackson State too. I think Jackson State is going to win this game. I think it's going to probably be a different score where everybody thinks it's going to be. I think they win by 2 touchdowns. Any last parting words, my friend?
Everyone, be safe. Watch lots of sports today. There's something for everyone, and have fun at your ugly sweater Christmas party today, because I know I will.
Well, I have nothing to say but this one or two thing. It's going to be prime time, electric at noon on ABC. If you don't want to watch the HBU games, watch Prime walk the field. He will walk the field for the last time for Jackson State University before he moves up to Colorado and up in Boulders, where he'll take over the Colorado Buffaloes. It's going to be a great bowl game. This is a great season because now you got teams that normally don't play each other. They start playing with each other. You got North Carolina versus Oregon. They don't play that much. You got North Carolina State in their games. So this is a good time of year to get it. And also we'll be back on Saturday for more bowl game prediction. I am Ray.
I'm
Dre. This is the All Sports All Plays College Breakdown on the All Sports All Plays Network. See you later.
All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we're making up plays. We're talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.